keep it with superheroes for one more time. Now we have to talk about Brightburn,
Right.
which I would say has an idea that a lot of people, a lot of comic comic book readers, especially with the superhero genre, have been imagining for years. I would imagine have imagined for years, right? And that is, what if Superman was not for truth and justice in the American way? What if he
Right.
just came down to do damage and to just be pure evil and whatnot? And
Here's the problem.
years
Yeah.
later, thanks to, was the director, David Yarovesky,
Right.
who kind of get the hookup through James Gunn. That's how this
Right.
film kind of came to be. Yeah, now we get this now we get to the answer to that kind of with
Right.
Brightburn.
They didn't do anything with this. That's the problem.
Yep,
We
that's
already
true.
we already know we already know uh what you could do with an evil Superman, because even DC has done this many, many times. Other comics has done
It
this many,
it
many
did this
times.
in Superman 3, yo. They gave us
Yeah.
that evil
Well,
Superman in
yeah,
Superman 3.
Superman 3 is not what we're talking about.
I
Right? We
know,
talking
I know, I know, but
but we're
yeah.
talking about, what I forget what the character name, Chris Kent or Connor Kent, I think. What you're supposed to do with the evil idea of a Superboy. Justice League Gods and Monsters did something like this.
Yeah.
Red Sun kind of do something like this. Injustice do something like this. A Better World do something like this. Irredeemable do something like this. So you have to bring something to the table. And this movie would have worked if it was either 200% smarter or 100% dumber. Like it had to be much smarter or much dumber. But they just kind of half-assed it. And on top of that, they didn't really do anything with the central premise, and they didn't frame the character in a proper way to make it didn't seem confusing. Because the whole thing is you're not sure if it's because he's a sociopath or if it's because of the programming, or if it's because and they didn't even make the effort to square it. That's the problem. So they're trying to do the whole we need to talk about Kevin thing, but in
Right.
Smallville.
Yeah.
But they didn't do anything with that either. Like, what would have been interesting is if they had the whole idea of Superman in Trump country. That would have been interesting, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's where we get it. Yeah.
Right. But no, they just had him as he's just a sociopath, kind of. But because of the programming, maybe, you're not really sure. And the
Yeah.
ship telling him to do something. And then, well, they hint at the Dragon Ball Z thing of, well, because he hinted at the parasitizing wasp, right? In the beginning. Remember that?
Yeah,
We
yeah, I
talk about this.
remember. Yeah.
And then, so when he mentioned that, I was like, all right, okay, when we go and get Dragon Ball Z, right? Remember once they send Saiyans to our planet, and the Saiyans just go berserk and then kill off everything for them to come and sell the planet. I thought we was getting something like that. Nothing. Right? They didn't even frame it properly. There's inconsistent in the framing. Because they're not sure. They didn't want to do the whole sociopathic stalker thing, or was it programming? And I think that was a mistake. That's the number one mistake with this. It was unclear how much volition he had in the story. How much volition did he have? Did he have control over this or not? Not sure. It's unclear. Sometimes he have control, but other times they frame it as if, well, it's programming. So now he's a psychopath, kind of. And then they don't do anything with it. They have a couple moments with the scare tactics and the horror, but that's about it. They didn't do anything with this. That's a mistake. And they would have get rid of this 10 years ago. Like, if this come out around the same time District 9 will come out, I'd enjoy this a lot more. But not now.
It's like, and some people made the argument that, well, it's because of how superhero movies are widely regarded now, but I don't think so. I just think
really.
At its
Because
core, just as a story,
already,
just being told.
right.
Yeah, they really could have done more with this.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that they didn't do anything. It's a shame. I think that's my problem. Is that it's the big issue was the framing, because here's the thing too, because the trailer kind of sell out what the premise was. You had to build from that. And I really wanted them to, again, it needed to be either much smarter or much dumber. But because they kind of had it halfway and then playing everything super serious, it does nothing. I can't say anything else about it. Anyway, let's go through the story.
Well, yeah. Well, story-wise, as we kind of sold out a little bit there, it involves a couple, Tori and Kyle Breyer, played by Elizabeth Banks, well, before McGill, and David Denman, sorry. So, they basically live in Brightburn, Kansas, right? Kansas. We can't say Smallville, Kansas, but the town is Brightburn, right?
Right.
And it's established early on that they were trying to conceive a child, but no luck, right?
Yeah.
Then one night, with this meteor showers going on, one meteor actually crash lands, by the farm, right? And then the movie kind of expects you, which I'll criticize later on, to put the pieces together and realize, well, yeah, this is how the antagonist of the story, that this is how
Right.
he comes to Earth, right? And yeah, basically, he's just a normal kid. I think where the story really starts is when he's 13 years old, right? This is where he turns 13, basically, right? And we see the relationship with him and his family, and when he goes to school, all that kind of stuff. But there is something dark going on in his life. Well, in terms of this, what we assume is the spaceship that he came in, right?
Right.
Which the dad has locked up in the barn, and you just see like this, like this glow, this red light glowing. Basically, it kind of reminds
Right.
me of Evil Dead, though, like old school Evil Dead, especially with
Yeah.
the kind of sound effect, right? But because of that, the kid himself, his name is Brandon, by the way. He slowly becomes another thing I have to criticize is slowly, right? He
Yeah.
becomes more and more psychotic and maniacal and then during that point he learns that he has all these powers,
Right.
similar
Which
to
which
Superman.
which which doesn't make sense, by the way, to me, because they already said that he had powers before. They say he never used to get sick and never get injured. So it's like how he didn't figure this out before, whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. And essentially, the show is just how Brandon, innocent Brandon, becomes the evil supervillain with who at first I thought his name was Brightburn, like when I saw the trailer and all that, but then I realized Brightburn's the name. I was like, okay. But using that now, like just to start off with that, this is one criticism I have with the show. If it's about the town itself, if it's about Brightburn, can they have more moments with Brandon interacting with other people? Like I felt like the stuff with him at school didn't really show enough of that.
Yeah,
Um,
not
like
that
they
makes
could have
sense.
showed how like maybe he was bullied and maybe people kind of push him to be violent
But
and
that's
stuff, and then he
that's
reacts to, you
but that's
know.
the thing. He have the powers all the time. They didn't show him ever again because the parents mentioned he never used to get injured or sick. So I don't understand how
Right,
he didn't
right.
figure out he had powers before. So how
Yeah,
was he
because
bullied in class? I
yeah,
didn't get
you're
that.
right because there's one scene where he in a fit of rage he throws a tractor, right, and then he
Right.
actually runs
When
to the
that's
to the
good,
tractor and then he's trying to push his
there's
finger.
one more.
But as you see that, well, he never got injured. You would think that he would have known that he was able to do that stuff from early on, right? It's just
Right.
like,
And
oh well,
I
now I know I can do this. Okay, whatever.
right. That's the thing because they're trying to make it out as because that's the problem with the framing. They're confused as to when he have powers or not. Now in Superman, they kind of mix that up a lot. In Superman, sometimes he's have powers since he's a baby. Other times they have his powers kicking around the age of 7 to 10 or so, right?
Yeah, this is
And
what it did
I
in Man of Steel, by the way. Like they had
right.
this great scene actually where he was flipping out at
I'm-
school, because of his emotions, and then
Right.
the beams from his eyes came out and the hearing and all
Right.
that stuff
Right.
happened just
His,
one
his
after the
powers
next.
started kicking. His
Yeah,
powers started kicking at that time. But in this, they didn't show anything like that. They just show video of him being nice as a child. But to me, if they really hinted at, all right, he could have definitely been harmed. And then it kicks in because of the powers. But then and that's another confused problem too, however.
yeah. But
Um
touch on that. What they could have done actually was like in that montage, that opening montage, they could have shown that hey, he has these powers, and then they probably tell him early on, you know, don't keep these things a secret.
I
We don't
think
want we don't want the
another
town of Brightburn to know that you have these powers
There's
here.
another problem is that why would he keep that a secret then and why? Because they're trying to do the whole sociopathic killer thing. But again, the reason why real world sociopathic killers don't need to be found out because they never really show why he should be weak at all. And they never really give any incentive of why he would hide his powers. That's
Yeah.
my problem with it.
and
Um
and also these another thing I criticize too is that like is how he discovers these powers though. Like if you
right,
watch like a Supergirl or Superman and stuff like the movies, you would see that there are moments not all life threatening where he suddenly realizes that he has these powers, right?
Right.
it just kind of comes like, okay, well, as his character gets darker, oh, now he realized he could do this. So it's like this
Right.
one scene where he's like biting at a fork and he keeps
Right.
biting it and he realizes
Like you know
like
he
stuff
did
like
this.
that. Like now you
Yeah.
realize this. What he could have done is just set up smarter scenarios where he figures out these powers, and then it starts to dawn on him, okay, well,
Right.
I can do this. All right, well, something I'm special now, so and you could
Right.
have wrestled with that. Like, all right, I have these powers now. Could I use them for good or could I use them for bad? It's just like it just felt like, oh, I saw the glowing red light and now I have all these powers, or
That's the
one
thing.
power after the
Because
next. Like, all
they
right,
try to frame it. They try to frame it as if, well, the ship wake up the powers now. But
yeah,
no, he was before.
exactly,
Yeah, so I was like, well, why do that? Whatever.
yeah.
Another show
But
that did so much better, that came out
uh,
a while back, called Chronicle.
yes, which I really did enjoy. I mean,
Yeah,
luck for the
so
director with Fan Four Stick, but yeah,
right,
Chronicle was a breakthrough movie for him. You know what I mean? And
right.
yeah,
That's
that's
why you have to
because
handle this.
and what I love with that is that you saw how mistreated the main character was, the
Right,
rough challenge he had, and that led to, well, sorry, when he finally get these powers, like, all right, I could
right,
use these things, like I having fun with them, cool,
right,
but now I could actually exact revenge on the people who tormented
right.
me all my life. He could have done
Exactly.
that
This is
here.
what
You know
really
what I mean?
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, like have a reason for him to lash out. You know what I mean? Not just, oh, I was trying to help a girl and I'm twisting she had. So
Which would
now
make sense.
now she mother calling me out and saying I should be locked away, and that's supposed to be reason enough to make me get even
But
more,
that's another thing too. That's
evil.
another thing. It's like, wait, if you could see he could crush, like, okay, a little boy cannot crush a little girl's hand by one hand. So nobody in raise out ire with that. So they didn't know that he have powers all the time in the tongue. You see the problem,
I
right?
know. Yeah. Once again, because
How he crush his hand.
yeah, and you're not seeing it from not from other people's perspective, sorry, but
Right.
how the townspeople are reacting to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, right? So good and bad, right? I will give credit that they actually make use of the I think a $6 million budget, right? It's very
Right.
small scale, right? But
Yeah. Well, that's
still,
fine.
that's not an excuse to kind of dumb down your script, though. Like
No,
I don't
yeah,
see
exactly.
it that
Could I?
you
That
need
is
that
the
sort of
the
extras to fill up the town, you know what I mean? But or
right.
to add more to the story. But you could have added a lot and still work around the budget.
Yeah. No, the budget wasn't the issue. The script. The script sucked. The script really needed punching up to have it make
Yeah,
sense.
it did. Because and this is the biggest grind I have with this, right? Is that it relies so much on you knowing about Superman and his backstory for you
Right.
to understand what's going on here. For the
That's
moment
another thing.
that well the meteor / spaceship crashes and
Right.
just cuts to this montage.
Right.
Like you just have to remember, oh, this is how Superman came down. Okay, but
Right.
why does this show have to rely on me knowing this?
Exactly.
It could have
But
just
here's the
shown
thing,
everything play out as is, and still
this is why.
with more and with more screen time and with a better, more punch up script, deconstruct the whole Superman mythos one time.
Right.
Do that.
I
Instead of just
what I thought.
okay,
What I
we're gonna
thought.
take everything that we know and we're just gonna rush everything and make him
Right.
evil because this is what we do in here. Bam,
That's
here
the
you
problem.
go.
But if they was gonna do it to me, I find they could have do the Trump country thing. That could have worked. You do the whole, well, he all the shitty things of a person that could be, and you do the racism and you read the racist and sexist and these kind of things. And what if Superman is racist and sexist? That could have worked. Or you could have take the approach of having you not know what's going on. Like it's one of those stories that you have to go in blind to. So you promote it as if you don't know what it's about. And the only big promotion to this is James Gunn producing a new superhero movie, but we have no idea what it's about. And people kind of have to go in blind. Then it could have probably sell itself a little better.
That would have worked actually, but because they had to sell everything out, like
right,
because that's gonna get people, that's gonna get butts in seats, right? Evil boy Superman, right? Or Superboy, sorry.
You do a better job of explaining, well, why does he the way he is? Because one of my big problems again is how much volition he had in all of this. It's very unclear, right? Was it the programming of the ship, or was it him just being a sociopath because of the power trip, or was it both?
They really should not have left that so unclear. Even right now to not even showing the spaceship. Like, why did it do that? Like, why did it do that?
I
You know
didn't,
what
I
I mean?
didn't need to
Like,
see something like that personally. Yeah? I didn't really care for any of that because I thought it could have the thing make sense. Anyway, Chronicle
but
does this premise so much better.
it
Um,
does, it does, it does.
this needed a
Um,
serious of a script. It's a
yeah.
shame, but this
It's
was
a
a big
shame though because
disappointment.
they really had a great idea in their hands. But
Exactly.
just last things I just want to say. So, last bit of bad, so kind of. Yes, I know they're working with a small budget, boy, but yeah, boy. So some of the VFX in this though, you could kind of tell the real kind of not half-assed, but you could tell the real cut corners, especially when you see
Right.
Brandon flying. I was like,
Right.
yeah, you already cut corners with this, right?
Well,
And having them use the flying powers to kill people is just like, yeah, you're
right.
cutting even more corners, you know what I mean? But
Right.
there
I
is
didn't have a
good.
problem with that because it looked fine to me. I didn't have a huge issue
I don't know,
with
it
that.
just took
It
me
was
out of it.
fine.
Like, I'm not expecting
Right.
Zack Snyder Man of Steel stuff, where you
Right.
see the actor zoom in and and you see him further up in the frame, but you just have
Right.
this big blue like shoop, and it's supposed
Yeah,
to
what you,
have me believe
I
that
didn't have
oh
a
he
problem with
flying.
that.
Right.
Because
Although the shot with him in the air look cool, eh? It look cool. It
yeah,
look cool.
but to me, the whole premise with it, with where if you have something like Superman and you do it from the perspective of humans, yeah, that kind of scary and disturbing because you have no idea how fast this thing is. Remember when people talking about look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, this kind of thing? That is nonsense. Something moving that fast and that small, something the size of a man at that height, you'll never see. Right? You'll
Yeah,
never
but
see.
but it
What was
makes for a
just
catchy kind of tagline, right? It's a bit
right.
discipline, right?
But that's the
Yeah,
whole point. Is that you won't see Superman moving at that speed unless he actually want to show himself up close and he get relatively close to you. So to me, Brandon moving about and nobody making sense of it, I like that. All of that is logically makes sense to me at least. Um, but they just gotta do more with this. It's really a
yeah,
shame. They literally did not do anything with this premise. They just had to
that's
just be a
true.
kind of like this horror movie thing. They playing a little couple of sci-fi elements and they didn't explain anything.
Yeah,
Another thing I didn't like. I thought I would do a couple of more interesting misdirections with the ending. Like I thought I'd do the whole alien metal harming him thing. I'd change that to have it be where she would have stabbed him and it did work still. So that is not the reason why he got weak in that period when he was getting the information in his head. Stuff like that. Little small, little dumb, little plot changes, whatever.
yeah.
Is
But
fine.
there is a couple of good things, just a couple of good. Apart from it being just a well-made looking film, like cinematography wise, it does look really good. They really do
Yeah.
use their budget really, really well.
But
The
Man of
acting
Steel,
for the most
Man of
part,
Steel look, right?
yeah, Man of Steel slash Smallville look, a lot of like, bright colors and stuff, especially with the farm scenes and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
There's that Kansas life there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the acting I thought for the most part was solid, especially from McGill
Right.
Elizabeth Banks. David
Yeah.
Denman was great as well too. Him being, that's like, yeah, something's wrong with that kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was surprised to see my boy Matt Jones from Breaking Bad. He was in it too.
Yeah.
Michael Rooker, from
Yeah.
from yeah, he makes an appearance at the end, and he even do like a little reference to Justice League, which I did not catch, but my friend was sitting down next to me. Was like, "Hey," he says so like, "Oh, okay, this is what he's going at. All right, cool,
Yeah.
okay, yeah." So I mean, they have talent for this. They have talent on board with this way, but it's just story wise, they really could have done much more because this is a premise that, yeah, a lot of people have been thinking about for ages, and yeah, they really could have been a lot. They really could have gone a lot smarter with it. Really could have gone longer with it. I mean, at 90
Yeah.
minutes, it's just too short. It just runs through everything
No,
fast.
I don't.
Character
Right.
development
Something
just
I don't
runs
mind
really
either.
fast. And last, I just want to say, and too much reliance on jump scares, man. Like I know we're going for
Right.
horror, and yes, you do get some really sweet kills, some really gory kills. I would say not
Right.
too gory as people see it as, but gory enough to be like, yeah, that is kind of messed up, right? But
Yeah.
you didn't really have to do the whole jump scare thing, with the ten. Like they do that way too much, man. I was like, oh
Right.
gosh, man. Like be a lot smarter with that. I know we doing low budget horror flick, but you don't need to do this, man. Come on.
No, yeah. As I said, it does a lot right. Again, it does the whole tree of life Man of Steel approach to some of the camera angles. Um, but yeah, I find it, and that's another problem to it. It kind of plays itself as a overdone joke. Like, oh, this is like Superman. Oh, this is like Superman. It alludes a little too much to Superman, and yes, to say it relies on that a little too much. They should just tell their own story. As I say, well, the running joke is that this is the Lex Luthor propaganda film.
Like
And
I
rating,
want to use that too, but I understand where you're coming from. But
right.
yeah,
I,
what's your rating
so,
for
so
Brightburn?
just a straight CC8. It don't work for me. Unfortunately, they're just a big disappointment. They could have done so much more with this. Especially in 2019. Like 10 years ago, probably 10, 15 years ago, I would have probably liked this, but no, no.
Yeah. Well, for me, I would give this a very, very light 3 out of 5. It was alright. And I actually did see it in Criminal Cinemas 8, which you rated your film at. I don't know, like I just came in and like about an hour and a half came out. I was like, wait, that was it? That's really, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And even if the show was 90 minutes long, they could have done so much with it, so much character development, so much just capitalizing on the premise itself, and just really giving us a solid film without over reliance on jump scares and oh well, Superman does this, well we're gonna do that instead. You know what I mean? Like just be its own thing, and we could have had a much better film. But for what it is, it's just yeah, whatever. Skip it. Or if you're just curious, if you're really curious, yeah, give it a look. But I recommend you wait until it comes on the home media. Anyway, speaking of watching on home media, I had to flip a coin. It was either this or Aladdin, right? Which you saw.
yeah.
And yeah, I ended up seeing Brightburn, right? So please tell me that Aladdin at least was better than Brightburn.
Hmm, can't say that, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Um, Here's the thing. I actually had fun with this, right? Given what it was, a
All
lot of
right.
fun with this. Um, you know, yeah, I don't have any big issues with the thing, but the problem is that you literally the only way for me to enjoy this, I literally had to ignore and forget the original. You had to like
Oh, I see.
if you do that, then it's fine. Movie's
Okay, here's
fine.
the thing. I was actually planning to, well, if had I gone to see Aladdin, the live action version, I was going to rewatch the old film, which honestly I have not seen since it came out back in '92. Loved it back
Right,
then, but I just never got back to watching that over. That was just with me. That's just me and Disney films, like Disney animated films. I watch them once or
right.
twice. I enjoy them, but it's not a show that it's not stuff that I would rewatch over and over, like say a Pixar film, for example. Pixar stuff I could rewatch, lots of times. But old school, or I should say like the golden era of like Disney animation, you watch it once or
Right.
twice, yeah, they're great, but I don't watch them again. That's personal reason.
That's the thing. Because the only movie I actually like in the golden era, in that Renaissance era, really is only one movie I genuinely liked. That's Aladdin, the first one.
Yeah.
Lion King is something I find myself I can't watch over all that much. Even though everybody,
Actually, as you bring up Lion King, that is the exception. Lion King I can watch over and
right.
over. I love Lion
Okay,
King.
right.
Can't wait for the remake for this
We'll find out.
remake by the way. Yeah.
Anyway, so okay, they do a couple changes. The song's not as bad as you think it is. Even the DJ Khaled song not as bad as I thought it would have been. I heard
There's a
DJ
DJ
Khaled.
Khaled song on this.
Yes,
What?
it is. But
Why am I both surprised and not surprised at the same time? Right?
it's the end credits, but it's not. It's not. It's the song. It's the Friend Like Me song, but they decide to make it a Khaled. It's a Khaled version in the end credits. But that's not so bad in my opinion. And then when they decide to do it in terms of Will Smith rapping, not bad. When again, when it
Wait. Well, I mean, the man spit some good bars, right?
right,
Will Smith always kind of like, like even though I love his earlier work, like up to Big Willie style, I still see
right,
it's a classic in my opinion. People always like to associate Will Smith with corny bars, and well, big example, his collaboration with Logic on Logic's album was kind of the corny side of things. You know what I mean?
right. Well, the thing is, what they do with it is that they say, okay, when they let Will Smith do what he do, um, it works. That is my opinion about this. When Will Smith is just Will Smith stuff, it works. Like, but when they make allusions to anytime they make any allusions to the old movie, it don't work, and that is what the problem with it. The big star is only that come out of this was Jasmine. She was pretty good in her role. I
Oh,
thought Aladdin
I
was
find she
terrible.
looked good for one thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah, she looked pretty good, but Jasmine was pretty. I thought she looked good. Although it have a song with her, that's a good song, but like it didn't fit at all. Like why was here why wasn't this earlier in the movie? There's a weird edit. Whatever.
Okay, right.
Um, Jafar was a little bit of a disappointment, but I like that they changed. I like what they changed with him, but I find the actor was surprisingly weak. But I like that they changed his motivations somewhat. Like they instead of just the evil wizard stuff, it's just more governance and you want to make money, and then they imply that he was a thief in the past as well. And like, all right, we use kind of like Aladdin, so how he rises up in the ranks is interesting.
Right.
They actually give the genie his own arc.
Okay.
Not to do with the freedom thing. The freedom thing was one thing, but they decided to do like you have a love story with that thing, and it's like, all right, cool. And then Nassim Padrad was in this. She's like a funny comedian for me, so like cool. They make it more. I thought it's not Arabic. It's more Bollywood than Arabic. That's what she. That was interesting. I'm like, all right, that's a weird call, but okay. You know, as they say, weird flex, but okay. And all of a sudden, then I have nothing to talk about because it's like it's the original. You have to kind of not think about the original. I like this more than Beauty and the Beast. I'll openly say that.
I would just say that a lot because I actually kind of like Beauty and the Beast for what it was. Not a perfect movie, but I was entertained by it. I enjoyed it for what it was.
It have the same problems of changing shit. Like they just change shit, and the only reason they change things is because you cater to these over nitpicky internet people who complain about the old film and all these supposed plot holes in the old film. But you don't have to cater to them whatsoever. And that's it. I have nothing else to say. Just that's the story. It's the same story.
All right. So my thing is it worth seeing on big screen, or is this something that I just had to wait till it come out on home media and I just check it out there?
Rent that shit. Rent it. Do not go to theaters to see this. But it's like the Beauty and the Beast thing. Like if you want to go and see it, you go and see it. It's whatever. It's better than Dumbo. I find Dumbo is a colossal waste of my time.
Yeah, I heard that actually. I really wanted to see it, because Tim Burton and all, but I was hearing through the grapevine that it wasn't as good because they just add unnecessary. They had too much filler or fat into it there. Yeah,
it's not bullshit. But I prefer this to Dumbo by far. Again, it's one of those things that is for the new generation who don't remember the original Aladdin. I think that's the only thing. And if you don't remember Aladdin and Aladdin don't work for you, and the thing is, it's well received. Like I thought this would have get like dong votes. Like I thought the new video for A Whole New World would have got dong vote, big dong vote on the internet. But no, people like it. So it's like, all right, well, people like it. Cool.
Okay.
Disney, do your Disney and make your money. I mean, that's it. They get that coin, they get that bag, right? So I can't. I have nothing else to see because they don't really add anything. They don't do anything with this.
All right, but rated wise, sorry, what would you give this?
I give this a high CC. Much better than I expected to be. I thought it would be some bullshit, but it's not bullshit. It's fine, and I had fun with it, so it's whatever.
Okay.
I can't give it a movie now, but still a high CC. High.
All right.
CC,
yeah. I got you. Yeah.
Movie tongue at a discount if they decide to, one of them Mondays or whatever, movie tongue sometimes just have this.
Oh yeah, they have like a certain percentage off that kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know, like just thinking about it now. I mean, we could go on a tangent about it now, but I don't want to. If this really is the future of like Disney shows, Disney animated shows nowadays, like we're just gonna live action the hell out of them, and
this is the trend now.
Yeah,
this is the trend. I can't see it stopping because I have no reason to stop.
Yeah, they're gonna make tons of cash, right? Because
exactly. I have no reason to stop.
Yeah, BTS made tons of cash. Jungle Book did. I know, like it is way too. Yeah.
All of them making the thing. So unless they really unless they take a serious L with one of these, I can't see them doing it. Because my logic was I wanted them to just, if you're doing over stuff, is do over the stuff that didn't work all that well the first time around. So, like in my opinion, Hercules didn't work. Hercules was,
or what are the lesser less popular ones, like say Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like I always felt that is what you should remake,
Right, you're remaking the stuff that didn't really work out so well. So Hunchback or Pocahontas or Tarzan or something like that, right? One of those. Yeah. Or even the Hercules, as I say. It's weird, but you have enough space to change up where you could change up now. But because this had its own image, and because of Robin Williams, he didn't really bring nothing now. And I still like Will Smith in this. He was good because when Will Smith was Will Smith, instead of trying to allude to Robin Williams, he was fine. It's
Right,
good.
right.
Exactly. Quite good in it for what it was. But I can't really rate this as any kind of rating because it's like you have to literally forget about the original film to enjoy this.
Yeah, like if it just didn't exist at all.
Right, exactly. If you literally ignore the original film and say, all right, I just treating this as its own thing, then fine, it works.